Hi there, welcome Simon.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. That's a good start, isn't it?
Thank you.
So we're here to talk today about the notion of setting up an in-house sales team or inside sales team and outsourcing that, and the benefits, the pros and cons of both of those options, or indeed if it works side by side.
Yeah.
So big question, which is better?
I suppose it depends at the time. Outsourced, obviously.
No, obviously.
But I suppose it varies at what point you're going to. I mean, it's a deep breath to try and invent a sales team of your own. It's not like you just ring a recruiter and they send a couple of people around. You sit them down and they perform.
Yeah.
It's a full-on strategy. It's like starting a new business. You've got that whole mindset and pressure of taking a product to market.
Yeah.
And they're going to make or break it for you. And is it the product that's not right, or is it them that's not right? I'm not going to panic. But you cannot just tickle a sales team. You can't just bring them in and not think, well, they're going to need all those sales structure around them and everything else. Either really strategize, bring in a sales team in, build yourself a year to onboard at least 1, 2, 3. Think about hierarchy and culture and everything else. Or just go, do you know what? I've got a new product. I need sales. I haven't got time to do that and build all that. I can build it, but in the background I need sales because I've got VCs to look after and board members and directors. So absolutely, plug it in the outsource. We take anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks, and we're off and running, like proper off and running with scripts, training, everything, and new team. So do that, then think about doing your own sales.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate with this for a second. Sorry about that. I'm a business owner, or I'm head of sales, whatever I am, and we've been charged to scale the company, or I've decided I want to scale the company. I see outsourced sales as a blocker for me because I don't have the control over it. I don't have the transparency. I can't touch it and feel it. It's not in front of me, so I can't make decisions on the fly. And it's scary for me to hand my brand over to somebody else, and I can understand all of those things. It's also more expensive. I do that because I'm not necessarily sure it is, but I think if you directly think I could pay this amount per day or per hour to an outsourced agency, or I could pay wages for these people, the wages cost is always going to be lower. What's the counter argument to those points?
Welcome to our sales process, by the way, as we take calls from everyone. It might work for you, it might not. It's like everything. We're not so typically sales that we go, we've got it, if you don't use it, you're wrong. It does work for certain clients more than others, and they do need to come and see us. And when we invite clients down to the office, there's no sales pitch. If we've got you here, we've done our sales pitch. So when you're here, see if it works. Go and have a chat with the guys on the team, see the script, see the training, meet the people. Are they your type of calibre? Because a lot of the time we've spoken about preconceptions. Are they all going to be under 20 years old? Are they all going to be whatever the preconception is? And so that's the first thing you need to overcome. We have methods in place where clients can touch and feel it. Live portals where you can see how many calls are being made, what the feedback is, etc., etc. But you need to come and see if it works for you.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because when you look at those reasons, transparency, I understand it. How much transparency do you really have internally if you don't have the right systems and processes in place? And do you know how to build those right systems and processes? We have the advantage of having to give people transparency, so we've got them there. Call recordings, every phone call made is recorded. Lifetime reporting, it's all built, it's mature as a system and as a process. If you look at the control, well, look, with transparency and information comes more control. So again, do you have control of your in-house team? Have you got the time to manage it, to set it up, to be so involved in it that you feel you've got that control? Or is it just a sense that you feel that because you can see it, you've got more control? And I think if you look at the times when you should and shouldn't build a team in-house, for me, when you should is when you've got somebody who can commit their full-time day, every day, to running that outbound team. So that's an extra salary to consider. And when that person has been there, done that successfully, and they understand the pitfalls. Otherwise, it's like with any budget for cost twice as much and take twice as long. It's no different. If you've not set up an inside sales team before somewhere, setting one up from scratch, you're going to make the mistakes that maybe an outsourced agency have made in the past and have learned from. So there's a lot of things that people don't think about. The biggest thing for me is cost. So people will look at the salary of the person and say, well, I'm going to pay them, 22 grand a year, whatever it is. So it costs me 22 grand a year versus if I use an outsourced agency per full-time person, it might cost me 50, 60, 70 grand a year. It's cheaper. But what we're not accounting for is when you're using an outsourced agency, that's the cost of the phone calls, that's the cost of their commission, that's the cost of the national insurance on the wages, that's the cost of the incentive program, of all the things that the management, the onboarding, their computer.
You don't need to recruit new people.
Their recruitment fees.
You don't have any holiday absenteeism because everything is covered because we overtrain.
And I think we did a really interesting exercise where you bring it down to the actual effective hours that are worked on the phone. So when you're using an outsourced agency, you pay for a day or an hour, you get a day or an hour. When you're paying a salary, you pay for a day, and they're often making a coffee.
I was going to say,
in an internal meeting.
I've got someone for 8 hours a day, that's fine. Are they actually powering through 8 hours a day? You can record every phone. Or are they off? You know,
have you distracted them 4 times today already? Have you pulled them into an internal meeting?
They're only human, aren't they? But you're not. But you're paying for that. You're paying for what? I probably think they're worth 30-40% of the day, if I'm honest.
Well, we talk about salespeople. We think that on average that they waste an hour to an hour and a half a day thinking about who to call next. Well, that's procrastination.
I didn't realise you were watching me.
I'm always watching.
I reckon it's peace of mind though as well. I really do. I say to a lot of clients, you know, at least you can wake up in the morning, you're on your way to work, you know that 8 o'clock all the guys are here, and by 8:30 they've done their mind games or their physical games or whatever it is to get them going, their buzz meeting. By 8:30 the clock starts and they're on and they're powering through their calls. If that's the right time to ring a client, it might be schools at lunchtime or HR at some other time, but if 8:30 is the right time to ring, those are the clients that the team's ringing. They can literally, clients can crack on with their day knowing that they can just literally tune in and tune out and have a look at how many calls are being made. They've got peace of mind that when they don't even have to manage it, but it's being reported back to them.
And I think there's also an argument that if you are going to build an in-house team, outsource first, even if that's a temporary thing. Not that we want clients to only work with temporarily, but we can be that guinea pig and that test and measure. So even if the end goal is to have an in-house team, getting it right with a team of people that have an external view can be a really useful way to grow an in-house team, and even keeping yourself honest in terms of achievements, in terms of numbers and stats and metrics. Having that benchmark on an outsourced basis can be really useful.
So we know we've had 2 or 3 clients down last week where the leaders of the companies have come down to see what we're doing, just to see and feel what a sales team should, I suppose, in this environment look like, but also bring their sales team down, and they've been on the phone and digging in just to try and almost instill, supercharge and accelerate the learning of their sales team.
It's no coincidence that some of our most successful clients are people who have an in-house sales team, inside sales team, so based primarily on the phone rather than face-to-face, and use us at the same time. So they've got that in-house external model. Why do you think that works so well?
Because some of the hurdles are business owners or salespeople feeling threatened that we're going to replace their sales team. And we're absolutely not. We can fuel their sales team. I think that's just around the education piece of, you may have guys there who are good at going out on the road and know their products and know face-to-face, but they just want leads. They just want those appointments being made, but they spend all of their time researching, analysing, dreading picking up the phone, like you just said, going off to talk to HR, putting the camera on. We do all that for them. So I think it's just the education piece around, we can line them up, and then you get your sales team to hit them. Agree.
And you know what, it's that simplicity of process sometimes, isn't it? It's amazing when we sit in our bubble within any organisation, and we probably do it in our company, we get so bogged down with the detail and the ins and outs of it, whereas an external pair of eyes comes in and says, well, it just looks like that, that and that, and that's it, that's all I needed to do. But we struggle to get out of that bubble sometimes.
It's almost like they could use us as the disruptor in a way, because you may have your top performer, you may have someone who's settled for being second or third, and you may have sort of fear in the job not hitting the sales targets, but come and see and benchmark where get a disruptive eye on, I didn't realise you could go straight in for the kill, or you had to drag it out a bit. I suppose it's like anything, isn't it? It's just learning new tips and doing it.
And again, testing new markets, not having to disrupt your current team. Let's get the outsourced agency to just try this. Oh, didn't work, let's push them back. Or actually did work, now I can get my current team doing that. And I think there's an element of keeping people honest, isn't there? So if you've got an in-house team and your outsourced agency are outperforming them, well, come on guys, let's learn from them. They do it a different way. But equally, if your outsourced agency can learn from your in-house team, then growth is accelerated through shared learning. And I think that's a really nice place to be. I've talked about people where it's gone well, where they've got both. Where we've seen that work really as well, they collaborated. So the salespeople in our business and our clients' business have collaborated together and shared ideas and shared learnings. And everybody's been a winner.
Everybody wins.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's really interesting. So what we've learned is that it's not necessarily more expensive. the right times to set up an in-house team are when you know how to do that. You've been there, you've done that, absolutely set it up in-house if you've got that expertise and that time and resource to drive it. Otherwise, considering outsourced, even if it's working alongside an in-house team, is probably a sensible way to go.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be both.
Okay, brilliant. Guys, thanks for listening. Share, like, comment, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you.